A firewall can block dangerous traffic, but the way it makes that decision depends on one critical capability: whether it understands the connection behind each packet. In this masterclass, we will compare stateless and stateful firewalls, follow real packet flows, and see why connection tracking changes network security. Imagine a client sending traffic toward a web server through a firewall positioned between them. Both firewall types can inspect basic packet information such as source address, destination address, protocol, and port number. For example, a rule may allow TCP traffic destined for port 443, commonly used for HTTPS. The important question is what happens next, when the server sends a response back to the client. A stateless firewall treats every packet as an independent event and evaluates it against its configured rules. When the client sends an HTTPS request, the firewall checks the packet fields and allows it because the rule matches TCP port 443. But the firewall does not remember that this packet created a legitimate conversation with the server. Therefore, return traffic may require another explicit rule, because the firewall cannot use connection history to determine whether that response belongs to a valid session. This makes stateless filtering simple and fast, but it provides very little context about what the traffic is actually doing. A stateful firewall goes one step further by maintaining a state table that records active network connections. When the client begins a TCP connection, the firewall observes the connection setup and records the session information. After the session becomes established, the firewall can recognize subsequent packets as belonging to that same conversation. That means a legitimate server response can be allowed because it matches an existing connection in the state table. The firewall is no longer asking only whether a packet matches a rule, it is also asking whether that packet makes sense in the context of a known session. Stateful firewalls can track important TCP connection states, including connection initiation, establishment, ongoing traffic, and termination. When a TCP SYN begins a connection, the firewall can create state for that session instead of treating the packet as an isolated event. As packets move through the connection, the firewall validates them against the expected session state. If an unexpected packet arrives without matching the known connection, the firewall can reject it instead of accepting it simply because a port is allowed. This is the security advantage of connection awareness. The firewall understands not only what the packet is, but where it fits in the conversation. Here is the complete conceptual comparison between the two firewall approaches. Stateless firewalls inspect packets without connection context and generally require explicit rules for traffic in each direction. Stateful firewalls maintain connection state and can automatically recognize legitimate return traffic associated with an established session. The result is better traffic validation and stronger protection against packets that do not belong to an expected connection. Consider a user opening a secure HTTPS website from inside an enterprise network. The outbound HTTPS request passes through the stateful firewall and creates connection state. When the web server responds, the firewall checks whether that response matches the existing connection. Because the response belongs to the established HTTPS session, the firewall allows it back to the user. This is much safer than simply allowing any packet that happens to use an approved destination port. In production environments, stateful firewalls are commonly preferred because they provide useful connection awareness. But stateful inspection is only one layer of defense, so firewall rules should still follow least privilege and allow only the traffic that is genuinely required. For advanced environments, combine firewall controls with application layer inspection, intrusion prevention, logging, monitoring, and threat detection. Stateless firewalls still have value for simple, predictable, high-speed packet filtering, especially when connection tracking is unnecessary. If you remember only one thing, remember that stateless firewalls make packet-by-packet decisions, while stateful firewalls understand the session those packets belong to. That connection awareness allows a stateful firewall to distinguish expected return traffic from unrelated or suspicious packets. So when you hear stateful versus stateless, think of one simple question: does the firewall remember the conversation?